there's an opportunity there too. Like, if there's someone who doesn't know their value, great.
Zesty.
Chunky!
Make sure it's a realistically easy thing, not complicated.
Yeah.
What is a realistic price? That is something that, you know, people can get ripped off. They can be overcharged. Like, what do you charge?
I mean, everyone's got a different price, obviously, because everyone has different quality that they produce. They have different people behind them. If you're reaching out to someone who's got 10 million followers on the app, as well as a YouTube channel and an Instagram feed, that
Probably going to pay a little bit
can
more.
all, yeah, you can definitely end up spending a lot more, and that because they'll have teams behind them to help produce all their content.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you might spend more, but you'll get the Instagram post and story and the YouTube content to go with it.
Yeah, you have to be upfront with what you expect too.
Yeah, so it depends on what you're looking for. The way I had it put to me recently, which I thought was a very interesting way of looking at it, is comparing, and if you don't have a YouTube channel, this will be a little bit harder to work out, but you can kind of work out what a good rate is comparing the YouTube AdSense number, basically, or CPM, which is cost per 1,000, to your TikTok views, and then working out from there what an actual CPM would look like. So, for example, if you have a CPM on YouTube of $10, then that means for every 1,000 views, you're going to pay $10 as an advertiser, or the creator will receive that. So when you transfer that across to TikTok, if you're getting 50,000 views, that's $500 for a single video. So that's kind of probably the best way to start to look at pricing.
Yeah.
It's always difficult too, because when you first get sent opportunities to advertise or promote things, you'll just about do anything. Like, there's people who will accept $50, $100 for any sort of promotion. So you kind of have to look at what you're getting from it as well, and the production quality that's going behind it.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, look, there's an opportunity there too. Like, if there's someone who doesn't know their value, great. Like, use that to your advantage. If someone's like, really, they should be charging 500, and they're asking 100, fucking take that. Like, go
100%.
with it, because you can. If you find 5 people who should be charging 500, and they don't know their value, and they're charging 100. You've now got the equivalent of $2.5 grand worth of marketing for the price of 500. You know, like, do your research. Like, don't be attached to someone because you want them. Like, that's where the whole influencer marketing thing was so underpriced for a while.
Yeah.
And massive brands took advantage of that and just made bank.
Was on that note, like, you know, because obviously, like, in music, like, you know, we can get paid a fee, and then for us, there's obviously the royalties and publishing that come after it. Have you ever run into the situation where, like, you might get less of a fee up front, but then you might get an added return afterwards, depending on how well the video goes? Is that a thing?
No.
That people do?
I haven't come across it, and I haven't heard of anyone else who I know who's come across that. Generally, it's just the flat upfront fee.
Because I mean, how would you?
It's one of the hard things with TikTok in particular, is to justify or clarify or even work out what the exact returns are.
Yeah.
So obviously you can see a video's reach,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of metrics that normal advertising would give. For example, the click-through rate, or your actual turnover. So if you're trying to sell a t-shirt on Instagram, for example, you'll be able to see, okay, I made one sale from 400 clicks. So you can see what that turnover rate is, whereas TikTok is very different in the sense that you can't really link a product, you can't really link a song. Yeah. So you're more going off just views and listens.
Yeah, okay.
And so to come up with any sort of royalties effectively based on that would be very difficult.
Well, I mean, yes and no. And this might be a thing that you might not know about because of your situation, because you don't do the music side of things. So when we put a song up on distribution services like TuneCore and CD Baby, and things like that, there's obviously the option to promote it on TikTok as well and have your song on TikTok. You pay a little bit extra for it or whatever. But then when you get your report, TikTok comes under it as well.
Yeah.
So
same as in Facebook ads, I learned recently from the mastermind group that that audience thing as well. I can't remember what it is, but TikTok's now becoming linked with Facebook, so you can market through Facebook ads through to TikTok, and they're developing that ongoing.
And so I think like, you know, like obviously it's, you know, whether it's worth it or not to you, and depending on, you know, how much the return is on TikTok for music and things like that. I have no idea. I haven't done any calculations. I haven't looked at it because I don't do releases. That's the artist's
side of things.
Of things. I don't really take any part in that. But it's a thing where you could negotiate. You know what I mean? If they want to pay a certain price, you'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And I guess it comes down to almost the opposite end of you know what I mean? It's like, how big are they? How big do you reckon the song's going to be? And, you know, all those factors that come into it. And you could be like, yeah, you know, I'll drop my fee, but then I want this much percentage of the TikTok royalties that you get. Or, you know, like I want, you know, and like, yeah, I sort of just answered my own question. But
yeah, I think it's... I guess
just
that,
easier
that
for you to
could
just
work.
take a fee?
Yeah, 100%. It's easier for me to take a fee and cover all my costs straight up. But the other thing is, obviously, TikTok sounds can come from, or the views on that TikTok can come from anywhere. So if someone else creates another video with the sound, then you're still seeing those figures come through in the Spotify or those feedback loops that you're talking about.
And that's where the trickle down effect happens. Like think of the
Yes.
Chipotle flip the lid challenge. Like they paid 5 or 10 influencers decent money, but then everyone on TikTok started copying those influencers, and now you're getting free marketing. So you've paid up front, I don't know, say 50 grand to these 5 influencers who have then each had maybe 1,000 people copy that. So you've just had now, you know, that you've had 1,005 videos for the price of 50 grand.
Yeah.
That's the other part that can.
But that's where I'm saying it's
too.
good, like it could be good for you depending on, you know, how crazy the song goes.
Yeah.
Because if you just take from all of TikTok, like all their TikTok royalties, if you take a percentage from all their TikTok royalties, that could end up being, you know, like a decent amount of money.